Crossing the finish line.
Is DHS and specifically CBP prepared right now to facilitate trade and travel at the bridge?
U.S. Customs prepares to welcome passenger and commercial traffic at the Detroit-Windsor span, but an exact opening date remains unknown. Resume ready.
There's a lot less international students. And so for domestic students, that means there's less competition.
More summer job opportunities up for grabs. And food for thought.
I don't know how people are getting by. It's like you got to cut back on everything.
Is a government-run grocery store a viable solution to rising costs?
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We're learning more tonight about the Gordie Howe International Bridge and specifically the status of American customs officers. It came up at a recent Senate appropriations hearing in Washington, D.C.
Is DHS and specifically CBP prepared right now to facilitate trade and travel at the bridge?
Yes, we are. Once again, we have the personnel dedicated, ready to move. The contractor hasn't signed off on final stuff. He had a deadline the 1st of May. He didn't make that deadline, so we're still waiting on that to take place.
Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen says they are ready to go, pending a final agreement between Canadian and American officials. Customs and Border Protection had previously declined to comment when CTV News asked for a status update. The Canadian Border Services Agency confirmed months ago their staff are also ready to go. Meantime, the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority continues to maintain the bridge will open in the spring of 2026, which ends in just 17 days. At that Senate hearing, Democratic Senator for Michigan, Gary Peters, says the Americans, with one exception, are excited about the bridge opening.
Right now, everybody is excited about it across business, all sectors of Michigan's economy and the Midwest. The only person that I know, there's one billionaire that's against it, and that's a person who owns a competing bridge, a private bridge that's competing. Other than that, there's just universal support.
We posted a link to that conversation between the two officials on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. A Windsor pediatrician has now been suspended for 8 months for accessing data of newborn babies. Dr. Omar Afandi was suspended as of today for 8 months. The College of Physicians and Surgeons Discipline Tribunal found his actions to be disgraceful, dishonorable, and unprofessional. Dr. Afandi accessed the personal information of 146 newborn males between April 18th and May 7th of 2024. The CPSO says he then transferred that information to his personal cell phone and contacted their parents to offer circumcisions at his private clinic. The college says that is professional misconduct. Dr. Afandi has already admitted to his actions and has already been fined $8,000 by the Information and Privacy Commissioner. After nearly 6 years, the LaSalle man has been vindicated by a Windsor jury. 48-year-old Sean Yvonne was found not guilty last night by a jury of 12 people. They deliberated for nearly 3 hours after a week-long trial. Yvonne was accused of a single charge of cocaine trafficking. The defense argued, and the jury seemed to agree, Yvonne did not know about the drugs hidden in his backyard. They said the drugs could have belonged to Yvonne's uncle, Danny Moore. The jury did not know that Moore was a co-accused on this case before his death. The acquittal is a significant relief for Mr. Yvonne, according to his lawyer.
He's been a ball of stress. This has been over his head for 6 years. It's not been anyone's fault. He got charged during COVID. There have been backlogs. He had to change counsel because this counsel became a judge. We brought some fairly complicated pretrial applications. This has just been a giant stress for him and his entire family. He's got 3 adult kids and a 4-year-old daughter who depend on him. He's a happily married guy. He's just thrilled to put this behind him.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building tonight. Gary, welcome back. Well above seasonal temperatures.
Thank you, Stephanie. It's good to be back. Well above the averages. You're absolutely right about that. Temperatures about 5 to 7 degrees above norms. Ridge of high pressure is keeping us relatively quiet. When I say that, I mean we're not likely to see any active weather in the form of showers or stormy activity in the next little while. In fact, tonight is quiet, and tomorrow starts off well enough. Will be warm, just like today. Temperatures in the low 30s potentially for tomorrow afternoon. Today, near 30 degrees Celsius, well above seasonal average of 24. I'll break down what you need to know because rain is coming again Friday evening and potentially for both days for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. That's all coming up with my complete forecast in moments. For now, I'll send it back to you inside at the desk. Stephanie?
Well, it certainly feels like summer out there today, and with post-secondary graduations underway and high school students weeks away from break, many are thinking about summer jobs. CTV's Travis Fortnum tonight taking a look at the youth job market. And Travis, that market has been pretty tough in recent years.
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't this feel like a story we've been hearing about for a few years now? It seems like there are now hiring and help wanted signs up everywhere. But if you've got a youth at home or you are one and you're looking for summer work, you probably know firsthand it's not as easy as walking in and applying these days. We wanted to know what's up with that. So we came down here to Workforce Windsor, Essex, and hey, some good news. It sounds like this summer things should be a little bit better. Summer break is almost here, and thousands of Windsor Essex students are getting ready to hit the job market. The good news, experts say finding work this summer could be a little easier.
This summer's job market should be a little bit better than what it was last year.
Workforce Windsor Essex says economic uncertainty and tariff concerns caused many employers to take a cautious approach to hiring last year. This year, CEO Justin Falconer says there may be less competition for some positions.
Because there's a lot less international students. And so for domestic students, that means there's less competition.
But even if there are more opportunities available, getting an interview isn't always easy. At the YMCA of Southwestern Ontario, Ray Kerniawan helps young job seekers navigate the process.
Supporting them with kind of that skill development and knowing how to search for jobs and knowing how to integrate into that workforce.
One question many parents still have, whatever happened to walking into a business with a paper resume?
So we do encourage that. We encourage still meeting face-to-face with a hiring manager or a supervisor just to establish that professionalism.
He says, however, it's important to follow the application process of the business, even if that means applying online. And when you do, be wary of the fact that these days, many applications never reach a human being.
There are systems in place that employers use to filter out candidates that may not be a good fit. With the use of AI,
Kerniawan says job seekers should study the posting carefully and make sure their resume matches the skills and qualifications employers are looking for.
We always recommend using the job description or job posting to identify what those keywords are, the skills that are required for that specific position, and including that into their resumes or their application.
And for students applying for their very first job,
volunteering opportunities, and that's also a great way to highlight that you have work experience, just maybe not paid work experience.
Now, as for the bigger picture about how we're doing job-wise in Windsor, Essex, Falconer says we'll have a better idea of that tomorrow. That's when the latest unemployment data is expected to be released. Stefanie.
Okay, we'll follow up then. Travis Fortnum, thank you for this. Now, did you struggle to find your first summer job? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, are you looking forward to Zellers returning to Windsor? Of 650 votes, 67% say yes, they are looking forward to shopping at Zellers once again. Now, could government-run grocery stores help make food more affordable? A new poll suggests many Canadians are skeptical of the idea, but as grocery prices continue to strain household budgets, some Windsor residents say they're willing to consider that option. Any option that could lower costs. CTV's Chris Campbell joining me now with more on this tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stefanie, for many Windsor families, sticker shock at the grocery store has become a regular part of life. Now, a new national poll is asking Canadians whether governments should get into the grocery business.
Leger poll commissioned by the Canadian Taxpayers Federation found 45% of Canadians believe government-run grocery stores aren't a bad idea, while 33% support the concept and 22% remain undecided.
Yeah, grocery prices are getting high, so they may want to do something about that, and, you know, that could be a good first step.
But among Windsor shoppers, opinions are mixed.
I would trust their intentions and the government's intentions, but I don't know if I'd trust the efficacy of the program.
So if the government can get on board with that and open up a place that isn't going to skyrocket the prices of what we purchase, our goods and whatnot, and then I'm all for it.
With food costs remaining a challenge for many households, some residents say they'd support government-run stores if they actually lowered prices.
Oh, 100%. If they can compete with like no frills and things like that, 100%.
I don't buy meat half the time, and it still costs me a couple $100.
Food policy expert Sylvain Charlebois says the idea shouldn't be dismissed outright, but argues it's being promoted for the wrong reasons.
I think the model has merit, but you want to implement a model like that for the right reasons. And right now, all I'm hearing are the wrong reasons.
Charlebois says government-run grocery stores may make sense in northern communities or areas considered food deserts, but warrants competing directly with the private sector has often failed elsewhere.
I think it might be okay. It would just depend on if they're going to actually lower the price like they said they're going to, or it's just something that the government always says they're going to do and never ends up doing.
Meanwhile, Windsor residents say affordability remains their biggest concern.
They're extremely high, and I don't know how people are getting by. It's like you got to cut back on everything.
Whether government-run grocery stores ever become a reality remains to be seen, but with food prices still top of mind for many Canadians, officials suspect the debate over how to best improve affordability is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. Stefanie?
A challenging time for many. Chris Campbell, thank you for this. Also, changes are coming for a key federal benefit program with millions of Canadians set to receive payments. Starting tomorrow, eligible people will receive a one-time GST/HST credit top-up payment. The Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit will replace that credit beginning next month. However, eligibility rules, payment calculations, and overall structure will remain the same. Ottawa says quarterly payment amounts will increase by 25% for 5 years, providing more support to people with low incomes. It's been a year since LaSalle upgraded a busy commuter intersection. Construction ended at Sprucewood and Matchett a year ago. LaSalle Mayor Crystal Meloche says ever since that traffic light became operational, the town has seen a drastic reduction in the number of vehicles idling at the Ojibwe Nature Center. And she says it's a safer intersection as well.
I was able to look at a stat that showed once we installed the lights last year, there was only one accident there in 2025, and that was within days of it reopening, which is normal, right? Because people are kind of in their automatic mode, they're used to four-way stop, and so an accident did occur.
Do you have an idea for a great story? Text us at 10400. You can also send photos and video. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, which Canadian provinces are now setting up shop in Washington ahead of CUSMA reviews. Then later, the double significance of this massive Canadian flag on a BC mountain. And Tecumseh is set to lift the wraps on the new and improved Lakewood Park. Tomorrow, what $3.9 million can buy you. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Leaders with the National Muslim Group are pushing the federal government to follow through on past recommendations to fight Islamophobia in the lead up to the somber anniversary of the killing of a Muslim family from London. This Saturday marks the 5th anniversary of the attack on the Afzal family. The perpetrator, Nathaniel Veltman, was convicted of murder and his actions deemed terrorism by the court. The Canadian Muslim Public Affairs Council has released a new report urging the feds to invest $40 million to protect mosques and Muslim schools, which officials state is proportionate to recent funding announced for Jewish institutions. Stats Canada data shows overall hate crime reports nearly tripled between 2018 and 2024, related in part to increases in both Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. Canada is officially now in high-level talks with the U.S. on the future of trade. But federal officials aren't the only negotiators making their way to Washington. Several provinces have set up their own trade offices in the U.S. Capitol. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the story.
When half a dozen Manitobans met with U.S. officials to talk trade this week, it was a first in history.
Manitoba produces about 8.5 million pigs every year. 3 million of those are exported live into the United States. Those exports are at risk if we don't have the protection of the trade agreement.
They signaled that even though the president signed the agreement 6 years ago, he's not attached to it. So there are some irritants that need to be worked out.
Manitoba is the newest province at the embassy. Ontario and Alberta have had representatives here for 1 and 2+ decades. But in this trade war, the 4 provinces in D.C. meet bi-weekly around this table. Ontario's representative says it's been effective.
We hope that that helps our federal government on things like doing trade agreements, because so many of the things that are in the American interest really rely with our the domain of the provinces.
One of the things I do is like to show them oil sands.
The reps spend a lot of time scene setting to Americans. Alberta's brings this oil sand sample to meetings. Nathan Cooper says the issue of Alberta separatism hasn't played a significant role in talks.
On occasion, I'll hear from members of Congress, more so out of an interest of like what's actually happening there. But it very quickly moves on to the key issues that we all face together, which is largely energy and agriculture.
Asked if some of Doug Ford's comments make his job harder on Capitol Hill, David Patterson says he's met with 150 Republican lawmakers and has not had a bad meeting yet. He's optimistic about a CUSMA deal, but not by July 1st.
If the United States is willing to do it, I hope they are, because I think it's in their self-interest. And so let's get it done by Labor Day.
Ontario's premier visits Washington next week. Alberta is focused on hosting U.S. lawmakers at the Calgary Stampede and beyond. Quebec didn't get back to us. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
The Ford government offered Toronto taxpayers a break today. The province is taking over the Gardiner Expressway and Don Valley Parkway next fall. According to the Ford government, repairs on the Gardiner alone saved Ontario's overall economy $273 million and is saving the 140,000 drivers who use the highway each day up to 22 minutes per trip. The deal will take effect next fall, and until then, Queen's Park is giving City Hall $353 million to continue operations and maintenance.
I wish we had a provincial government when I was at City Hall that would do this, because it was costing us a fortune to maintain it every year. So part of our new deal, it's going to free up a lot of money for the mayor to do things that she sees that is needed right in the city of Toronto.
There are questions around the high cost of security for World Cup matches in Vancouver, with the police price tag per game significantly higher than Toronto or Seattle. As CTV's Isabella Thurs tells us, the BC government has not been able to offer an answer about the increased cost.
How much does it cost to keep 350,000 soccer fans safe? In Vancouver, about $242 million for 7 games.
FIFA then is going to make sure that there is spending on protecting the image of their product as well. Now, their product is the World Cup.
But safety spending seems to differ depending on the location. Toronto is hosting 6 matches and is on the hook for about $94 million.
This is a direct investment in the safety of everyone who will be participating and watching the games.
As to why Vancouver's costs might be so high, economist Moshe Lander believes it could be due to where BC Place is located.
Downtown is jam-packed with businesses, high-rise residential. There's highways that run right through the middle of that area, and BC Place is kind of wedged right into all of that activity.
The Vancouver Police Department is leading security for the tournament. Neither the province nor VPD will tell us how much money it's receiving. Toronto Police are gaining $66 million, while $8.6 million USD, about 12 million Canadian, is going to the Seattle Police Department.
Operational overtime was one of the projects we put in for. So we worked very diligently to find a meaningful mix, again, of using on-duty resources to the best of our ability.
The province says it is being transparent.
There's no jurisdiction that's hosting a World Cup right now that is releasing the detailed information that is being released by the province of British Columbia.
But the government remains tight-lipped on these details. CTV News pressed the Public Safety Ministry on how the $242 million is being spent. They say it's going to policing, fire, paramedic, and emergency management response, and that final costs will be available after the games.
The lack of transparency might be merely to buy them time, and especially as the game gets closer, one thing that we see in every host city is that people start focusing less and less on the technical aspects, and they start focusing more and more on the game aspect.
And with only 10 days until the first match at BC Place, the province may be betting that once the first whistle blows, questions about this bill will fade into the background. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
Meantime, Vancouver is ready to welcome the world with a world record. CTV's Shannon Patterson explains.
The largest Canadian flag ever produced was installed on the Cut on Grouse Mountain Tuesday afternoon.
We were looking at something that, showcased our Canadian pride as the World Cup came to Vancouver.
We were originally planning on putting the flag horizontally across so that it could face the city, and then he said, just out of curiosity, what would it take to break the world record?
When Grouse learned there was a chance to break the Guinness World Record for largest flag unfurled on a mountain,
we made it 160 by 80 meters, and the flag is so big that we had to tilt it up onto its side just to fit onto the Cut.
Producing a flag this big is no easy task.
It was 20 days of printing it nonstop. It's 60 panels, and then we had to sew all of the panels together.
100 people helped install the giant flag, which is held in place with airplane cables and a dozen solid concrete blocks.
We carried it down the lengthwise of the hill, attached it to the cable, and then the whole team pulled it out at once. It was actually a remarkably smooth installation process.
I just saw it from my plane when I arrived yesterday, so was my first step to confirm this is the largest flag unfurled on a mountain.
After taking exact measurements, on Wednesday, a Guinness World Record adjudicator made it official.
Now you are officially amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Congratulations.
I cannot believe this.
You made it. This is a new record title.
I grew up on Grouse Mountain. I've been coming up here since I was a tiny little kid. To get this opportunity to do this for our city during the FIFA World Cup while the world's eyes are on our beautiful city means everything to me.
The flag will remain in place at least through Canada Day.
When the flag is removed from Grouse Mountain, the material will not go to waste. It's being donated to charity.
And they make quilts and bags as well, so we'll donate the material to them.
And they'll make something out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the legacy continues.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, North Vancouver.
Strength in the financial sector boosted Canada's main stock index today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 416 points. In New York, the Dow added 875, the Nasdaq lost 23. The Canadian dollar is down 0.07 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained $38 an ounce and oil fell almost to $3 a barrel. The CAA worst road list is out, and a popular Windsor street made the infamous cut. Stay with us. The details later on. CTV News at 6.
Well, it's all coming to an end, folks. Yes, the sunshine will end this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we won't see scenery above our heads like this. Oh, it's a sad, sad occasion. We'll talk about much-needed rain and the positive side of it all, though. Silver linings. Oh, wait, after this.
pleasant day full of sunshine. Gary joins me for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
Stefanie, let's just get this week over with and enjoy more of the warmth for most. Now, some of you may be working this weekend. We're actually going to see some showers and maybe even some cooler temperatures than what we've been accustomed to. And what we've been accustomed to has been well above seasonal yet again, close to 6-7 degrees above seasonal between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, reaching a high of 30.5. Our average high is 24, average low is 13. The average low this morning before dawn was 13. Air quality has, well, deteriorated a touch. We're in the medium category at 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. The lower the number, the better on the AQI. Looking at 28 or 82 in Chatham, Kent, high cirrus, a bit of haze there, similar sky conditions, 84 degrees Fahrenheit or 29 degrees Celsius at the airport in Windsor. So the Rose City is warm, much of southern Ontario and southern Quebec in the upper 20s, cooler in northern and northwestern Ontario, and the prairies have cooled off in the upper teens, low 20s expected today. Now we are the warm spot in the country for the most part. There is a front that will eventually get here perhaps Friday night into a cloudy, rainy evening, morning combination Friday, overnight into Saturday. So that would put to an end a streak of essentially almost 2 weeks of, well, a lack of rain. The rainy weather is required. Gardens being parched to some degree. Warm temperatures through the evening, still hovering around 25 degrees, a mixture of sun and cloud as we head towards dusk. Partly cloudy through 10 p.m. and at midnight. Even at midnight, a very warm 18 degrees, winds out of the southwest. That's where our warm flow remains. And tomorrow it's a bit breezy, high UV, a mixture of sun and cloud anticipated. 31 will feel like about 31 and 32. Again, the lack of humidity has made this streak of warm, above seasonal weather feel great and comfortable for the most part, and that's why we haven't seen any heat warnings or anything of the sort. Saturday, Sunday, 27s apiece. About a 40 to 60% chance we'll see rain showers both days. I think more so Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 29, 31, 30, and then 28. We will be about 29 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees above seasonal. Let's look at your weather, courtesy of Intercare Siles.
An Ontario couple is sharing their experience with Alzheimer's disease in hopes of helping others access treatment sooner. CTV's Rita Ismail reports on a letter campaign advocating for broader access to disease-modifying therapies that can help slow the progression.
You're playing golf this afternoon?
Yep.
Who are you playing with?
Just, I'm not sure.
For 70-year-old Bob Gardner, a retired OPP officer, living with early-stage Alzheimer's disease has been an adjustment.
Physically, I feel the same, but I may be talking to somebody and I'll forget what I'm saying to them also, and it's kind of hard that way.
Bob says with a family history of the disease, he recognized the warning signs and sought help early. The early diagnosis allowed him to qualify for a recently approved disease-modifying therapy that's designed to slow the progression. Bob is now receiving treatment, but the journey to access the drug wasn't easy. Now the Gardners are advocating for others living with the disease.
We are fortunate that he's able to get the infusions. And what it's helping our family, making memories and appreciating the time we have with him. Where there's others that are not so lucky, that they depend on our healthcare system for support.
Health Canada has approved 2 disease-modifying therapies for Alzheimer's. Experts say the treatments represent a major breakthrough.
So they don't just treat symptoms, but they slow the disease down. What that means for individual patients is huge. That means longer time with their function longer time doing things that they enjoy, doing them independently, less dependence on their loved ones, and more quality time spent with their loved ones.
The Alzheimer's Society of Ontario is now urging the province to improve access, with more than 700 people already sending letters to their MPPs through actionfordementia.ca.
These drugs do exist. They are available. They're not covered. And so it's really important to us that ability to pay is not a barrier to access to these drugs where patients want it as part of their treatment plan and where they're going to be eligible.
For Bob and Wendy Garner, the goal is simple: ensuring that more families facing an Alzheimer's diagnosis have the same opportunity to access treatment and gain precious time with their family. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
The 2026 CAA Worst Roads list is out, and only one road in Windsor made the list. Riverside Drive East was fourth in the southwestern region. Hamilton was named home of the worst road in Ontario for a third time. CAA says the 2026 list reflects feedback from thousands of Ontarians who experience the province's roads every day and highlights the roads drivers may need urgent repair. Across both the city and the province, road users commonly cited potholes, poor maintenance, and uneven surfaces as top concerns affecting safety and mobility. A longtime Stratford pizza restaurant will serve its last pie later this month. The owner of Vinny's Pizza in the Stratford Mall says the pandemic and a change in mall ownership have spelled out the end of the 33-year staple. CTV's Jeff Pickle reports.
Vinny's Pizza is a major part of Brittany Sage's life.
I was just looking for my first job and I applied, and yeah, I've been here ever since.
From her first job at 15 to becoming the owner 5 years later, Sage says serving up fresh slices, pasta, and salads is a passion.
I just loved what I did, and she was retiring, and I decided to buy it from her because I love what I did and I just wanted to keep doing it.
But after 33 years in operation, Vinny's, located in the Stratford Mall, is closing on June 20th. Sage says the business never fully recovered from the effects of the pandemic.
So since COVID, I've actually been working 2 years by myself with no employees, just trying to make ends meet. I did get the $60K business loan from the government, but unfortunately it was expected to be paid back in 2 years. And obviously that's very hard.
Sage says the sale of the mall in 2022 and an increase in rent proved to be too much to overcome.
I tried to make it work despite everything because my heart is in this.
The current mall ownership say when they took over the shopping center, Vinny's lease had already expired, saying in a statement to protect their tenancy, ownership offered them a new long-term lease to which they declined. Ownership allowed the tenant to continue to operate on a month-to-month basis, even though it's not their standard policy. With a planned upcoming mall renovation and while struggling to meet financial obligations, Vinny's say they were told they were done. Mall ownership say Stratford Mall worked extensively with the tenant over a number of years and made significant efforts to support the business and help it succeed. Sage says she wishes there was more runway to turn things around.
If it was about the money, I probably would have closed up shop a long time ago. But my heart's been in this, and this is my passion. This is what I love to do.
Despite serving Stratford with award-winning pizza, Sage says she is not able to relocate the store.
It's just not financially feasible right now. People don't realize how small businesses are really still struggling to get through COVID times.
After a summer of rest, Sage says her post-Vinny's journey will begin. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Stratford.
Coming up on What's Up YTG, we're going to talk about art in the park.
Yeah, should I even ask about what the forecast is looking like?
Don't you dare.
I got everything crossed.
Not allowed to say that, but coming up, we're going to give you all the details.
There was a strong response to a hotly awaited product drop linked to the excitement around heated rivalry.
All right, so tonight we can do the men's short form figure skating? Or?
My buddy Joe's in that program. Train together.
Pre-sale started yesterday for the Team Canada fleece jacket worn by Hudson Williams as his character Shane Hollander in the hit series from CTV Bell Media partner Crave. Demand was high despite the $356 price tag. In fact, all sizes are sold out, at least for now. 10% of proceeds will support You Can Play, an organization aimed at addressing homophobia and other forms of discrimination in hockey. Turning now to our weekly segment, What's Up YQG, with Johnny Parks from our sister station 89X and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, what exactly is happening in the area this weekend that we should be aware of?
Yeah, it's the unofficial launch to Windsor Summer Festival season. Johnny, I'm sure you've been to Art in the Park before.
Love Art in the Park. I actually have a pretty good collection of wooden spoons that I've carved, so maybe I should actually do this one year. But we're with Alan from the Rotary Club of Windsor. Can you tell us about Art in the Park?
Sure can, yeah. Art in the Park's one of the largest arts and crafts festivals in Ontario. We bring in exhibitors from Manitoba to New Brunswick.
And tell us a little bit more about the vendors, and is there anything new that we should look out for?
Yeah, I've got about 310 exhibitors this year, and of those, there's 70 new ones. We likewise have a new thing in our kids zone. We've got a bunch of young kids that have brought all of their little crafts, 25 of them Saturday and another 25 on Sunday. It's a brand new thing for us.
And there's always entertainment, too. Can you tell us a bit about the entertainment that'll be happening?
Yeah, we've got country, we've got jazz, we've got rock band from Walkerville, CI, a little bit of everything.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And what about the food? There's always a great food section.
Oh, yes. We've added more food again this year. Crazy number of dessert-type treats. You've got Italian, Greek, Thai. We've got tacos. We've got churros. We've got anything you could imagine.
I'm so hungry now. How can we get our tickets?
Well, you can get tickets at the gate, or if you're wise, you're going to order in advance from artintheparkwindsor.com. You save $1 that way.
And what about the proceeds? Where did the proceeds to that money go to?
Yeah, we're all volunteers. Everybody you see working here is doing it for free, and we are able to put all the money back to our community. Almost everything comes back to Windsor. We support the restoration and preservation of Willisted Manor, and we do a lot of charitable projects here locally.
That's great. Well, thanks a lot, Alan. And we'll make sure to put all the links to that on our website. Now, Johnny, there are a few other things we got to talk about this weekend, including something that, you know, might be good for poutine lovers.
Yeah, Poutine Feast at Riverfront Festival Plaza. I've been starving myself to get ready for it.
Awesome. And in Amherstburg, what if you want to check out something in Amherstburg this weekend?
Yeah, open air weekend's kicking off in beautiful Amherstburg this weekend.
Perfect. Now, you know that I'm a country fan, so I think there might be something else for the country lovers out there.
Nashville Takeover going on in different spots across Windsor all weekend long.
Perfect. So once again, we'll put all the links online, and that's What's Up YQG.
Scratching to victory, a big win for a Windsor resident.
A local father is now $100,000 richer. Keep it here on CTV Windsor.
It's the return of the 89X Birthday Bash. Celebrate with us on September 4th at the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor with performances from Default, the Bluestones, and Fionn. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a pair of tickets.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. The amazing volunteers of the Windsor Essex Humane Society will take to the major intersections of Windsor Essex to collect donations from the public, June the 11th to the 13th. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kate Otterbein. So, Kate, let's talk more about those summer jobs.
Yes, and jobs overall. We'll get a fresh look at the state of the Windsor-Essex job market tomorrow when Statistics Canada releases its latest employment numbers. And one local expert says there are some encouraging signs already emerging. Justin Faulkner with Workforce Windsor-Essex says he'll be watching manufacturing employment closely, given the industry's importance to the local economy. 1 in 4 Windsor workers are in the manufacturing sector, and he says there are also signs employers are starting to post more new jobs, something he hopes continues as summer hiring picks up.
From April to May, overall job posting growth was about 1%. However, when we looked at just new job posts that were posted for the very first time, that number increased to 7% increase month over month. So we are seeing fresh new jobs that weren't there in prior months come back and be posted. So I'm hoping to see more of that.
For more tips on how to take your resume to the top of the pile, go to our online coverage at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And a Windsor dad is walking away with the biggest prize on a scratch ticket. Exciting.
Super exciting. David T struck big on the instant rollout multiplier ticket. He now walks away with $100,000. He says he has been playing the lottery for over a decade and scratch tickets are his favorite. When he saw the winning row, he thought it was too good to be true. The winning ticket was bought at 7-Eleven on Wyandotte Street East here in Windsor. And in our social spotlight tonight, this little musical sensation is giving Paul McCartney a run for his money. This is Leonardo Patrick with his cover of the song Blackbird. His covers have gathered more than 1 million views on social media. He loves to play songs from Nirvana, Radiohead, Metallica, and Ed Sheeran. He also loves to busk, and he's a big fan of music from the 80s and 90s, thanks to his parents introducing him to some of the classics. Now, I come from a musical family. This is super impressive for, like, he's what? Looks like maybe 8?
I think a little older.
Maybe a little older. Sorry, I don't have kids. Sorry.
Looks a little older than 8 years old, but he's obviously talented, and it's great that he has such a wide range of musical talent when it comes to the different genres.
For sure.
He reminds me of like a mini Justin Bieber.
Yeah, same vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that is what's happening now. Thank you, Kate. Coming up after the break and weather, meet the best harness racehorse in North America from Ontario.
All right, let's get to the weekend.
We've missed you over the past week, by the way.
I appreciate that. I'm just being boldly honest. Let's get to Friday, people. Yes. Sunny, but a little bit more cloud cover, still warm and comfortable. This is good because, you know, if the humidity was in the 60, 70 range, today's 30, 31 would have felt like about 36, 37 maybe-ish. And that would have been uncomfortable for some, no doubt. We are looking at 31, feeling like about 32 tomorrow. That's above seasonal. Average highs 24. And some showers on the way. Friday evening, in fact, I think we could see some showers, and then that would spill over into Saturday and possibly Sunday. The average temperature between tomorrow and Thursday is going to be a very warm 29. So 5 degrees above seasonal. Some rain for the weekend. We need it. It's been dry. And then some more sunshine and warmth next week.
Okay, great. Thank you. Finally tonight, a champion racehorse is looking to stay undefeated this season after winning all 15 races in which he's competed. Bojangles trains in Southern Ontario and will try to qualify for a $1 million race in Milton this weekend. Here's CTV's Colton Wines with more on the horse and the people keeping him in top gear.
Not afraid to let his presence be known, Bojangles seems to know he's one of the best.
Oh, he's just about the best one we have, I guess.
His attitude, his demeanor, you know, he knows what he is, and he makes sure everyone around him knows what he is.
The Ontario-bred champion harness racer has quickly made a name for himself, going undefeated in every race he's run during his lifetime.
It's about 1.8 million now, I think, in Canadian dollars, and he is, let me see, 15 for 15 now after 12 wins as a 2-year-old last year. Bojangles received Horse of the Year not only in Canada but in the U.S. as well, and never left Canada, and that's the first time that's ever happened.
The standard-bred trains in Puslinch under the guidance of Dr. Ian Moore, who says he looked a little oversized at first, but only got stronger while staying light on his feet.
Time we got to about 6 for 6 with this guy, we were starting to smile a little bit and think this might be all right.
Like any top-tier athlete, those who know him say he has a desire to win.
He loves it. We get to the track and we walk in the paddock and he's roaring and screaming, letting everyone know he's there. And
beautiful gait to him and very light, and he's got tremendous will and desire to race against whatever's around him.
And his attitude stands out a little more than most.
I'm not as laid back as some of the other ones I look after. You know, I do have to watch my back with him sometimes because he will sneak up and bite me.
Dr. Moore says this is probably Bojangles' last year racing before he's likely to become a commercial breeding stallion. On Saturday, he'll be at Woodbine Mohawk Park in Milton trying to qualify for the prestigious Pepsi North America Cup in hopes of competing for the $1 million prize the following weekend.
I hope so, but it's horse racing and anything can happen.
We try to apply good management in everything we do and hope that everything falls in place.
Bojangles will go for his 16th win in a row on Saturday, then will go for the $1 million on June 13th at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Colton Weens, CTV News. Puss Lynch.
He's a little disturber there, isn't he?
A little
Likes
brat.
to cause drama.
Beautiful horse. Wonderful story about racing, which goes a long way in southwestern Ontario. But yeah, he didn't want Colton to steal the spotlight in that shot there.
No. Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
We'll see you then.